Yo, real talk, what's your excuse right now? Bad Wi-Fi, long commute, didn't sleep enough. Because I'm about to tell you about a dude who was born with 0 arms and 0 legs, and still became one of the most legendary human beings on the entire planet. His name is Nick Vujicic, and everything you've been telling yourself about why you can't, he obliterated it, without a single limb. December 4th, 1982. Melbourne, Australia, a baby boy is born, and the nurse, she just walks out of that delivery room. No words, nothing, just leaves. The doctor turns to the parents, Boris and Dushka Vujicic, and they realize something is seriously off. Their son has no arms, no legs, just a tiny little foot attached to his left hip with 2 fused toes. His mom, she's a trained nurse, y'all. She knows bodies, she knows medicine, and she still couldn't bring herself to hold her own baby for 4 straight months. That's not cold, that's a mama absolutely wrecked by something she had 0 framework to process. His dad walked out to the parking lot and just broke down, a man of faith, sitting in the dark, crying alone under the stars, asking God, "What did you just give me?" Nobody in that room could have guessed that broken baby was gonna end up being the most put-together person any of them had ever met. Nick starts school, and let me paint this picture for you. He is the only physically disabled kid in the whole building. No buddy system, no special treatment that actually helped. Just a little boy rolling up to his first day, and immediately getting stared at like he landed from another planet. Kids said stuff, cruel stuff, the kind of stuff that sticks to your soul at 6 years old like gum on a sneaker. But here's where Nick said, "Nah, not today." He taught himself to type, using "you use your hands" about 1,000 times before noon. You have never once stopped to be grateful. Nick spent his entire childhood earning what you were handed for free. The 2 toes on his left foot. He taught himself to write, brush his teeth, pick things up off the floor. He figured out how to swim by literally throwing himself into a pool until his body sorted it out. That ain't inspiration porn, fam. That's a little kid problem-solving in real time with what he had. No complaints, no waiting around for someone to fix it. Just figure it out. While you were Googling how to be productive, Nick was out here literally reinventing every single basic human task from scratch, with 2 toes. By 13, the bullying had leveled up to something savage. Nick was coming home crying almost every single day. He'd ask his mom, "Why am I like this? What's even the point of me?" And one night, he tried to drown himself in the bathtub. Let that land. He couldn't go through with it, not because some superhero willpower kicked in, but because the faces of his parents flashed across his mind. His dad crying in that parking lot, his mom who finally learned how to hold him, and something in Nick just shifted. He made a decision right there in that bathroom. He was gonna stop dying slowly every day and start figuring out why he was alive. The kids who bullied him, the ones who called him names, Nick forgave every last one of them. Not because it didn't hurt, but because he knew, no pain, no purpose, his mess became his message. You've been through hard stuff and called it rock bottom. Nick was 13, limbless, and chose to stay. The question isn't what you've been through, it's what you're using it for. At 17, Nick gets up in front of his school's prayer group and just lets it all out. His voice is shaking. His whole body is shaking. He's got no hands to grip a podium, no feet to steady himself on the floor. But he talks, and by the time he's done, the whole room is crying. Something clicked for this dude, like, oh, this is it. This is what I'm here for. At 21, he's in college double majoring in accounting and financial planning, and on the side, he founds a nonprofit called Life Without Limbs. He starts hitting the road. Schools, prisons, stadiums, churches. By the time most guys his age were stressing about entry-level salaries, Nick had already spoken to over 3 million people across 6 continents. That ain't a flex. That's a calling answered with everything he had. People said you need a whole body to change the world. Nick said, nah, you just need a heartbeat and something real to say. For most of his teen years, Nick told himself the same lie a lot of us tell ourselves. Nobody's gonna love me like this. He prayed for it, but deep down, he kinda doubted it was even possible. Then in 2010, he meets Kani Miyahara, a stunning, brilliant Japanese-American woman who looked at Nick and didn't see what was missing. She saw everything that was there. They got married in 2012, and then came the moment that absolutely shattered Nick in the best way. The morning Canny placed their firstborn son Kiyoshi on his chest, and Nick held him the only way he could with his chin and his cheek, and just lost it. Full-on ugly cry, because it was proof, real, breathing, beautiful proof that a full life was possible for him. They have 4 kids now. 4 perfectly healthy, fully limbed children who are growing up watching their dad skateboard, surf, swim, and speak to stadiums without a single arm or leg. That's the bar they're being raised with. Wild, right? Nick held his son without arms and loved him without limits. You've got both. What's your excuse for not showing up fully for the people in your life? Today, Nick Vujicic has spoken in over 70 countries. He's addressed the United Nations. He sat with presidents and prime ministers. He's also sat in the dirt with barefoot kids in the slums of India who have never owned a single pair of shoes and made them feel like they mattered. He's written 6 books. He leads 2 international nonprofits. He surfs. He plays golf. He skydives. He does stand-up comedy on stages in front of tens of thousands of people. He once got a standing ovation in South Korea from 50,000 people, and he can't even stand. He's walked into max security prisons and made hardened criminals weep. He sat next to teenagers on ledges and talked them back to life. He's held the hands of kids with terminal cancer and whispered to them, "You are not forgotten." All of it, every single bit of it, without arms, without legs, without ever once saying, "I can't." If God can use a man with no arms and no legs to be his hands and feet, he can use literally anybody, even you, especially you. You got 2 hands that can build anything, 2 legs that can take you anywhere, a voice that can move people, time you're burning on stuff that don't matter, a dream you keep putting on hold, people who need what only you got. Nick Vujicic came into this world with nothing the world said you needed and built something the world has never seen. You rolled up with the full package.